Hi, welcome to my Take 3. Today we're going to be talking about the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and this is my 6-month review. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to those of you who have liked and subscribed to the channel so far. And for those of you who are new, welcome. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot and hope you enjoy. So let's talk about the iPhone 14 Pro Max. We're going to be talking about the display, dynamic island, battery life, camera, performance, and at the end I'm going to give my overall opinion on whether you should upgrade or whether you should stick with what you've got. So let's talk about the display. The iPhone 14 Pro Max has a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR display with adaptive promotion. So adaptive promotion changes to what you are doing on the iPhone. So if you're browsing through, say, Instagram or playing a graphic intensive game like Call of Duty Mobile, the display will refresh the frame rates to keep up with whatever you're doing. On top of that, the display is fantastic. In direct sunlight, it goes up to 2000 nits. Normal is 1600 nits. So I've never had an issue with looking at the display outside. I do have to note that in pitch black, if you are looking at your phone, say at night, even with the brightness completely down, it is still quite bright. So that's just something to take a note of if you don't like bright displays or you're quite sensitive to that kind of thing. So let's talk about the always on display. When I first used the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and this was also on the iPhone 14 Pro, I thought that the screen was on. So I kept pressing the sleep wake button because I wasn't sure whether the iPhone screen was on or not. It took some getting used to, but eventually I did get used to it, and now I love it. I love having the wallpaper at the back in the background. I love being able to just see the time and seeing notifications. And Apple has added the option to turn off the wallpaper and notifications. So if you just want the time with your widgets underneath it, you can have that more Android-like experience if you prefer. But on the top of the display, you're going to notice there's a little pill shape. That is the dynamic island. I know it's a bit of a strange name, but Apple likes their strange names. So this basically reminds me of the touch bar on the MacBook, where it is functional. It's a little bit gimmicky. I feel like the usability of it is a bit backwards. So if you tap on the dynamic island, it takes you into the app. If you hold down on it, it brings up the little widget that allows you to control things like, for example, your music. I feel like they should have offered an option, say in settings, so that you could choose if you want to tap or hold to do a certain action. I feel like tapping should open the widget and holding should take you to the app. And I think that's quite a popular opinion with many people that have also reviewed the iPhone. The battery life on the iPhone 14 Pro Max is amazing. I have come from an iPhone 12 Pro and that didn't have great battery life. I also had to get the MagSafe battery pack to attach to the iPhone 12 Pro because the battery wouldn't last all day. However, with this, I've not had to worry hardly at all. During a standard day, I'm ending the day on like 70%. And if I'm going out and it's a really intensive day, say I'm using like maps or I'm taking pictures and videos, then I get down to at worst 20%, which isn't bad at all. And that's 20% by the time I end up getting home from the day. The cameras on the iPhone 14 Pro Max are amazing to a point. So it's got a wide camera, which is 12 megapixels, but you can also change that to 48 megapixels in the settings, and that's their Pro Raw feature. It's also got an ultra wide and telephoto that is 12 megapixels. So as you can see in these photos, the iPhone takes very good, crisp, clear, white photos. However, if you don't have the right brightness, then the pictures can sometimes appear a bit grainy. Also to note, night mode photos can be a bit hit and miss with how it captures the image. So this is a picture of my son in low light, and here's a picture where I actually actively had to turn the flash on. It seems to favor the night mode over the flash, especially when it was in a really dark environment. And here's another example as well of the iPhone 14 Pro Max against my partner's iPhone 11. Now, her photo ended up looking much better than the iPhone 14 Pro Max because I guess there's some over processing that was being done on the 14 side. Overall, if you just want to have a point and shoot camera, they usually say the best camera is the one that you have on you. You're not going to be disappointed with most of the shots you get. Shooting video on the iPhone, however, is absolutely phenomenal. You've got 1080p, you've got 4K, you can shoot 4K in 24, 30 and 60 frames a second, and the videos can also be recorded in ProRes. I would recommend that if you are going to be doing a lot of ProRes recording, you get an iPhone that has 256 gigabytes or more, because the ProRes videos take up so much storage. So if you're getting anything less than that, it's not going to be worth it. Also, this video here is being recorded on the iPhone 14 Pro Max in 4K, 60 frames a second, and it's using the cinematic mode. It really gets that bokeh effect so well. But for the most part, you will be very happy with the video. 9 out of 10, the shots are going to be great. And the new action mode as well, it works flawlessly. So this is a video of my son pushing a wheelbarrow. And basically what it does is it shoots an ultra wide video, but then it crops it down to focus on the subject, so it's got enough to move around the video or the image to keep the subject stable, or as stable as possible. Performance on the iPhone has been, as you'd expect, amazing. It uses the new A16 Bionic chip. It's the latest iPhone, it's going to be faster than previous models. I've not had any issues with performance, scrolling, switching, apps, having tons of apps open, gaming. The only issue I do have is with iOS 16 being a little bit buggy. I've had some circumstances where apps have crashed or where apps have just stalled. I've been in the middle of messaging someone and the keyboard just wouldn't respond. And I don't know why that is, but I'm hoping that iOS 17 is going to be a lot of bug fixes. I would be happy if they sacrificed new features for bug fixes just so that there's a smooth experience. Apple has just recently announced that there's WWDC coming on the 5th of June, so really excited about that. So with all of that being said, who is this iPhone for? Well, if you're on an iPhone 13 Pro, I would recommend you stay. You've got the great battery life, you've already got the great cameras, you've got the same design, same screen. This is more, the iPhone 14 is more of an S upgrade to the iPhone 13. However, the iPhone 12, I would say if you want to upgrade because you need the battery life, you wouldn't be disappointed, but I would also recommend this far in. You've only got a few more months until the September event where Apple releases their new iPhone 15s. So I would probably wait till then. And even if you didn't want to get an iPhone 15 at that point, you could still get a reduced price on the iPhone 14. So I would probably wait it out if I were you on the iPhone 12. If you're going from iPhone 11 or lower, definitely upgrade. You have much better battery life, much better cameras, much better performance, great screen, audio on it, the sound, even though we didn't talk about it during this review, is amazing from what comes out of the iPhone, and you won't be disappointed at all. So that's my review on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Please leave a comment down below on if you think you're going to upgrade, or if you have an iPhone 14 Pro, how's your experience been with it so far? Please like and subscribe if you liked the video, and see you next time.